Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Myogi, and welcome back to some more of Myogi Reacts, genuinely reacts, to MF Ghost. Now, last week was a double episode to make up for the other week that I was absent in doing my weekly review of this. But now, we have already come to an impasse. The first round of the MFG tournament has already went and gone. Our boy Kanata was able to supersede against a Porsche 911 Carrera GTS by Mr. Pardon, fellow Englishman, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or in the chat. Correct me if I misclassified our boy Jackson Taylor. And so far, we've established some facts here. Yeah, Jackson Taylor is British or English for that matter, and was able to go toe-to-toe with our boy Kanata. It was also revealed that Kanata was a student of Fujiwara, and the most important detail of all is that Nozomi Kitakara was able to get first dibs on that Katagiri body. That's why she's best girl. Sorry, Ren. But anyway, so what we're going to be covering right now is this interlude. We've seen on the preview of the last episode that a familiar name, team name, group name resurfaced in the preview, and that is none other than Spiral Zero. And remember my last left question at the end of last week's review? Who among the two members of Spiral Zero are we going to see? Is it Ryuji Ikeda or Hiroya Okoyama? Yes, I've been saying Okomura wrong this whole time. I've been thinking of that father that we killed at Persona 5. But anyway, that's enough about me. That's enough of a recap. We're here to see some more of MFG. I wonder how they're gonna make this hella interesting. No, it's an intermission episode. I really hope it's not going to be that boring. So let's see. Okay, he remembers his clutch win against Taylor. Good, good. He remembers Taylor. He remembers the handshake of all things. Bro.
Good morning.
And what a way to start the episode. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to all the 106 who viewed last week's review. I am surprised it's the second time in a row, I wouldn't say in a row, but second time in an instant, that the Japanglish counter has reached the same amount as that of the live viewers during the premiere of last week. So thank you very much, guys, for the undying support. We're almost hitting 6K subscribers, and I really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, by the way. Sorry for the shameless plug. Let's continue.
英国にいたら絶対に見ることができないパシフィックオーシャン。僕は本当に日本に来たんだ。ここはファーザーの母国。日本の5月はまるでサマーバケーションのような爽やかさだね。ママ。英国はまだ寒いもの。
やだな。補習だっけ?
Not gonna lie, this is actually quite a cute render of Ren. Haggard Ren is best Ren, at least for now. Well now! Yep, they've indeed made it very entertaining for an intermission episode. You know what? Let me do one real quick edit for Ren's sake here so that we know what's playing on our mind.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.
Yeah, I know. Old references don't die, and this is the perfect old reference. To those of my generation, you know what it means. To those Gen Zs who heard it for the first time, it's called Gunther, you touch my tra-la-las.
No problem. バスルーム使ってください。Please. タオルつけてますけど。
賑やかね、お二階は。
And that, my friends, is how I met your mom. No, we're not doing that again. It only works good the first time.
僕もコンビニに用があるので、駅まで一緒に行きます。
She's still thinking about that Kanata bod. Now, for reference sake, this is where Nozomi stands for smelling and hugging that Katagiri body. Now, this is Ren. After seeing the Katagiri body with no clothes on. It's a tight race. It's a tight race between the two for best girl.
補習って何ですか？
普通の授業とは別に受けないといけない授業だよ。
I see。テストの点が悪い生徒が招集されるクラスですね。そういうの英国でもあります。
あ、誤解しないで。レはバイトで出席日数が足りなくなっただけで成績トップクラスなんだから。
Such a tsundere.
MFG エンジェルやってること。
I predict she's going to be cock-blocked at the very moment she tries to open her mouth.
あのね。実はね、カナタ。
And there it is! Predictably called it.
偶然だな。
ああ、尾形さん。
ちょうどいいとこで会ったよ。今日の午後1時に尾形自動車に来れるか？昨日ホルモン屋でシュンがエンジニアを紹介してくれただろ。
フラットなコースほどパワーの差は出る。
Wait, hold up! I know they covered this in detail in the manga, so for the sake of the anime, they skipped this scene out? I don't want to backtrack on the manga though, so manga readers, please let us all know in the comments below if I'm remembering right or if I'm remembering wrong.
俺の GTR もあの人に見てもらうようになってからめきめき良くなったんだ。
その人がわざわざ出向いてくれるんだよ。3人で86のアップデートの打ち合わせをしようぜ。
ブラボー。
Yeah, there's always a bundle of the Japanglish when it's about Kanata and it's new information. Oh my god, look at Ren's face! It's like, you motherfucker, I was about to expose my secret and here you are!
そちらの可愛らしいお嬢さんとはどういうご関係で？
やだな、尾形さん。何言ってんの？レンだよ。西園寺レンです。
おー、ちょっと。
It could have been much more comical if Ogata actually fell off the motorcycle than just the motorcycle falling off while he's standing.
そうだろう。レンちゃんかよ。全然わからなかったよ。いつの間にこんなに嫉妬性が伸びてんまー。今いくつ
？17です。
17歳か。俺と大して身長違わない。
Wait, that number.
だって17じゃないか。17。
Kanata should be scared right now. If you know, you know.
俺が知ってる昔のレンちゃんとはまるで別人じゃねえか。
ここまでリアクションされるとかえってムカつくな。
まさか整形した？
なわけねえだろ、ボケ。
痛そうです。レンのボディーブローはとてもタフです。
Before I continue, yeah, buddy bro, that's obligatory.
エキサイティングです。
Yeah, it's one after another. Thank you, Kanata.
86がアップデートするなんて。
言いそびれてしまったじゃん。バカバカ、オガタッチのバカ。
まさかお前あいつに惚れちまったんじゃねえだろな。
だったら何？
兄として認めねえぞ。イケメンと結婚なんて。
Isn't that like going to play in your favor, Kakeru? Come on. Don't be such a sourpuss.
気が早すぎるよ。ばっかじゃね？兄貴さ、知ってるの？来年から年間7000になるって話。
あ？知らねえわけねえだろ。バカにすんな。
Yes.
だったら決勝進出が20代に増えるって話は？
それは知らなかった。
賞金額も上乗せされて1位が1億5000万だってさ。
マジか。
あなたはこれからガンガン稼ぐんだし、どうせなら私とカナタが結婚してやじ方3兄弟で稼ぎまくるのも悪くないでしょ。兄貴お金好きじゃん。
So to quickly backtrack on that one while I was having a bit of some technical issues. So Nozomi has admitted to falling for Kanata, point A. Kakeru has a hard-on for money, point B. And Nozomi proposed the idea of a lifetime to automatically make Kakeru do a 180 about Kanata, point C. Pretty standard stuff if you ask me.
パワーを上げれば単純に戦闘力が上がるというものではないんだ。バランスが崩れることで。
But wait, hold up. He has Ikeda's jawline. And he also has the, the cheekbones going down. Well, technically, this is like years after Project D, a fifth stage. I mean, it's also possible that Ikeda would have grown some hair. Are we not gonna have like introductions or what?
そこで俺からの提案なんだが、ステージ1としてはブレーキを含めた足回りを重点的に見直すことを優先すべきだと思う。まずは足、それからエンジンだ。
カナタ、お前はどう思う？ドライバーとしての意見を言ってくれ。
ミスター奥山の意見。
Hello? That's Hiroyuki Okuyama? Mr. First Hairpin 2.0 gets a lot of screen time as the direct mechanic of Kanata? I'm having a mental breakdown here. The person with the least amount of screen time in Initial D in its entire lifetime. Heck, it got superseded by Nobuhiko, who got extra screen time in the Sushisaka arc. Okuyama? Really?
パワーのある車を求めてはいけないと、ライバルたちよりもアンダーパワーなマシンを選択するように言われました。
なんでそうなる？だってレースなんだぞ。意味はなんだよ。
はっきりした意図は教えてくれませんでした。先生のアドバイスはいつも少し漠然としていて、生徒たちが自分の頭で考えることを。
For the record though, by the way, in terms of the Japanglish counter advice, there is actually no direct Japanese translation to that, so we're never counting advice.
でもどんな時も的確に確信をついています。
でもな、カナタ、下級機をつけて馬力を上げたとしても、ライバルたちに比べてダントツに非力であることには変わりない。
Okay, to be fair, another bit of technical talk. You do notice that Ogata mentioned supercharger, not turbocharger. And do you know why? I'm not going to spell it out for you guys. I'm going to let our boy Wataru Akiyama explain why.
スーパーチャージャーのダイレクトなレスポンスはどっちかっていうと NA に近い。
ターボみたいな癖もないし、まるで大排気量のエンジンに積み替えたみたいなフィーリングなんだ。
And that's Wataru's technical talk of the day.
その先生のアドバイスに反してることにはならないぞ。
尾形さん、僕の目的はチャレンジすることであって順位ではないです。エンジンにはノータッチで第2戦に臨みます。この場に先生がいたら多分こう言うと思います。君はまだ86の戦闘力を全て引き出してはいないと。
言いそうなセリフだよ。あのストイックな藤原匠なら。
Oh, shut up, Okuyama. You didn't even interact with Takumi during the Spiral Zero arc. Who are you to talk about this?
ミスター奥山、藤原先生を知っているんですか？
そりゃ知ってるさ。
I sure do. I only lasted like one hairpin when I raised him.
俺たち世代の関東の走り屋でその名前を知らない奴はいないよ。参ったな。あの人の車を仕上げるノウハウはピカイチだからな。特に足回りの仕上げには定評があるんだ。奥山さんが言うんじゃしょうがないか。
そ そういえばカナダがさ、
Oh my god, is this like a classic Japanese anime trope? So two serious dudes talking about some serious things, and then girl high schoolers just pass by in the foreground, and then they start talking about girls. Is that really how things go?
可愛い JK と肩並べて歩いてるとこ見たよ。
マジか。あいつレースだけじゃなくてそっちの方も早いんか。
いやいやいや、そういうのじゃなくて、カナダがホームステイしてるうちの子供。
If I was Shun, Aiba, I would be very uncomfortable with Ogata snickering like that. Ogata, what's with the smile?
なんだよ。
可愛いのか。
思わず二度見するくらいに、しかもスタイル抜群。
いや、いくら可愛くたって JK なんてまだガキだし、カナタがその子といい感じになってくれれば、俺の恋路を邪魔する奴はいない。
すぐ支度するね。
いえ、今日は用事があります。レンは休んでてください。
Aw, Ren got left out.
MF ゴースト。
Okay, this is just a pet peeve of mine, but are they really... They're really rendering normal Ren quite cutely in this episode. Is this a way to counterbalance the whole Nozomi hype? Because I do believe it is.
休日の鎌倉は人が多いな。
Okay, for a moment there, because of the bangs, I thought that was Mr. 17.
あんな風にカップルで腕を組んで歩くのってどんな気分なんだろう。相思相愛のカップルですってわざわざアピールしながら歩くのはどうなの。
She looks so dead inside when she sees other couples going around just because things aren't working out between her and Kanata.
バカップルっぽくない？彼氏ができるとみんなあんな風になっちゃうものなの？レンは嫌。ちらっと顔見たけどカナタの足元にも及ばないし。何よ、ちっとも羨ましくなんかないのだ。
And then explain your expression earlier, Ren. Wait, isn't this like the cafe that Kanata took an interest in getting a part-time job at?
この店、前にカナ
Oh yeah, it is.
いらっしゃいませ。
And there it is.
カナタじゃん。何やってんのよこんなとこで。
見ての通りバイトを始めました。ワーキングタイムなのでプライベートトークはやめてください。
Hold up! The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Our boy Kanata here is literally posing the Fujiwara look. First stage Fujiwara look, if I may add so myself.
はい、レン。ご注文はミス西園寺。
やばいよ、やばすぎる。カナの人生で出会ったイケメンランキングダントツの1位。ああ、ダメだ。完全にどっか行っちゃってるよ。おーい、帰ってこーい。
That's another one to Kanata's harem. Why is he still... You know, if you look at it from this angle, he's pretty much like the British version of Mr. 17, only with brown hair.
変わってるのね、カナタは。人にはない才能に恵まれてるのに。
そんなものはないです。平凡な幸せが一番です。小さい頃からママにそう言われて育ってきました。僕のことマザコンだと思ったですよね。
そうかもね。
But to be honest, if I was hearing that part of their conversation and I was part of their conversation, I wouldn't say being a mama's boy in all that bad.
まあいいじゃん。男の子はみんなマザコンだって誰かが言ってた。
意味もなく殴るのはやめてください。痛いです。そういえば尾形さんが驚いていました。レンのことをとてもキュートだと言っていました。
オガタッチに言われてもな。カナタはどう思うの？カナタから見たレンは。
Really? At this angle, he really looks like Mr. 17.
可愛い女の子。
MFG はロードレースだ。サーキット専用のサスペンションでは通用しない。しなやかにストロークさせて タイヤのグリップを使い切ったところからさらに粘るようなそんな足を作る。
ブレーキに関してはポイントはやはり絶対的な制動力ですよね。
それもあるが、フロントのローターにわずかだが歪みが出ていることに気がついていたかい？
そんなはずは。
おそらくワンレースでそうなったんだろう。熱による変形だ。片桐君の規格外のドライビングにクーリングが追いつかなかったのさ。
Are you telling me that Kanata was gunning on sports or stock brakes this entire time? And got that high with little to no tuning?
だから熱対策に優れたキャリパーを使う。フロントは6スポットだ。制動力と耐久性が格段に上がる。ハードなブレーキングを続けてもタッチの劣化は最小限だし、片桐君にとってはレース終盤で強力な武器になる。
Okay, guys, so if you've noticed right here, Okuyama earlier was talking about 6-slotted brake rotors. And if you look closely, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of them is covered by the brake calipers. And that's actually a better performing brake compared to the regular disc brake, for the sole reason that it can withstand even more heat because the heat will disperse through those slots going out of the brake, so that it would have less brake fade and could withstand even more braking pressure from the front tires depending on the speed of the car. That is your like standard brake upgrades, and very essential for anyone getting into circuit racing, street racing, whatever, or would just like to have longer lasting brakes. It costs a fortune, but it's a long-term investment.
君はエンジンのパワーが後回しと聞いて少なからずがっかりしていたようだが、それは MFG の本質が分かっていない。車は足だけで速くなるってことを覚えておくんだな。以前うちのショップもエンジン本体以外のチューニングだけでどこまでタイムを削れるのかというテーマにとことんチャレンジしたことがある。俺は足には妥協しない。おそらく君が考えている以上に速い車が出来上がるぜ。
So it would still get some power, but it's very minor, right? Kanata, it's the next day. Why are you sporting the same Fujiwara-like look that you had at work? Or is this the time that you came off from work? Seriously, he looks like a brown-haired version of Mr. 17. And look on the bright side, Ogata. He still gets some power. It's just not a lot compared to force induction, but it's still power nonetheless.
その全てのない状態での86で開幕戦で見せてくれたあの超人的なパフォーマンスにただただ驚くしかない。天才と言われた藤原拓海、彼が育てたあの若者は間違いなく藤原を超えるスケールの天才ドライバーだ。
Oh, what does this remind me of? No way, that last one doesn't count. That's my own stuff. That's my own stuff. We're just sticking within the initial D lore. Classic throwback. Hello? It is Mr. 17! Finally, he makes an appearance! Oh, and that was the end of the episode. But before we go to the preview, let's look back here. Ah, okay. That's why the badge underneath is what got me curious. So it already has the Blitz branding. I do believe it came with the brake set, so it's like, why the hell not? Let's plaster it on the car. And the one underneath is the Tuning Garage sticker. So it's already now sponsored by Blitz and Spiral Zero.
第11話
Hey yo, what up? Wait!
次回
A white NSX! Didn't the manga say that Didn't the manga say that the NSX feature there was blue? Inconsistencies be damned.
第11話天才覚醒
Oh, okay. So for people who are not familiar much with these cars, this car right here, driven by number 4, aka Mr. 17, is the Renault Alpine A110. This is a revived version of, I think it was the 70s or the 80s Renault Alpine A110, which was featured in the Monte Carlo Rally. Yeah, so to be honest, we're seeing some parallels here. Now that we're kind of clearly seeing that Kanata isn't the only one sporting the same kind of, I wouldn't say technology, but at the same time, Kanata isn't the only one who's in a class of his own. A lower class of his own, mind you. So let's do a bit of some Googling here. Oh wait, last 3 seconds. Okay, so it just focused on the Alpine, which is good. So let's do a quickie wiki on the Renault Alpine. So it's an Alpine, yes, and its parent company is Renault. This Alpine specifically is not under Renault, but it is the parents of Renault. So Alpine Cars is its own identity, and among its models is a 2017 Alpine A110. That is correct. Okay, so I'm seeing here that the very first Alpine was from 1963 to 1977. Pretty much way older on the age compared to the AE86 and the 86 GT. Its original horsepower was at around... Wait, I'm finding it. So the very first one had 51 horsepower, and okay, here we go. By the end of the A110's production run, its output had increased to 180. So it's actually much more powerful than what the AE86 was, which is at 130. Now, among its model change, its latest model change, which is the A110. Yeah, the Alpine A110 is a rear mid-engine. So it's an MR! All this time I thought there was an FR. Wow. Okay, so it is like, I would say it's on the same power bracket as that of the Alfa Romeo 4C. So we have Kanata, Nozomi, and now Mr. 17, who's on the same car class. Well, of course, Kanata with the lowest HP and all. But we can also see here that there's also a much more powerful version, which is at 290 horsepower. Okay, so if anything, from what we're seeing here, well, body-wise, it's kind of close to the 86 GT. Power-wise, if we also factor in the upgrades that Kanata got from Okuyama, it's kind of also in the same length as the 86 GT. But the difference is it is rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. So it's an MR. So it's kind of falling in between the points of Kanata and Nozomi. So Mr. 17 is way here in the middle. And from what we've seen in the preview, he seems to have able to hold his own compared to Katagiri. So we would also, I guess, see that there's a lot of supposed rain coming in. So that's another key factor. It's probably going to be a rain battle. And we've seen the Alpine A110 beat Kanata at one of the corners. Alright, I will only say this one detail to spoil what's gonna happen on the next episode. But I do believe if you've watched the previous episode at the post-race details before see you next time from Odawara, Japan, that segment, they already announced round 2, which is gonna happen at the Ashinoko Skyline, which, by the way, trivia mind you, is the same Ashinoko Skyline featured in Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune 2 until its latest rendition 6RR, or in the Japanese case 6RR++. But yeah, that's most of the trivia here. So going back to what we have covered so far, I am quite surprised that they went with Okuyama. I mean, I know I shouldn't be surprised anymore because I've been reading the manga in advance, but I'm trying my best to erase that memory of mine for the sake of these reviews. Also, they were able to make this interlude chapter, this interlude episode, a bit more interesting than we thought it would, which is something that Initial D pales in comparison. To be fair though, the only unpale moments in Initial D that doesn't have to do with cars is 4th stage whenever it pertains to the messed up relationships that the Takahashi brothers have, and of course the feature of Best Girl Kyoko Iwase. But that's about it. Everything else is just quite dull. But here, no, it's actually quite entertaining, and I applaud them for that. Which is actually a nice, fresh take. Sure, it may not have been executed well on the manga, cringe if I may add, but here, with the whole production, the sound design, and the timing, it's actually pulled off quite well. So kudos to Felix Studios, the production team. Did I read that right based on the credits? They're the ones behind it. But yeah, so another recap on that one. So there's Okuyama reveal, Naked Katagiri. We at least got some Nozomi service, but I think that's kind of like contracted because Yu Serizawa's contract, so she needs to have a bit of some screen time, obligatory screen time, to make the most out of her contract. Also, Shun Aiba debating why they're not going for power even if Okuyama was the one who directed that. And of course, no voice bites, but we did get to see the appearance in race mode of Mr. 17, Sawatari. And I'm quite also surprised that there's no mention of Mr. Becken Mozart. But yeah. Okay, so I'm probably seeing a possible pattern here with the rest of the races in MFG, and there are like 5 in total. So after the series of races, we only get 1 episode of interlude and then jump straight to the next round. So we'll be starting with the qualifyings immediately. But I am concerned. The reveal of the NC1 NSX there was kind of surprising, because everyone kept saying in the manga that it was blue. And now they're going with white. Aren't there too many white cars already in MFG? We got Shun Aiba, we got Daigo Oshi, we got Maizono Civic. Or maybe if the NSX driver is Maizono, then that would make perfect sense. But I hope I'm just not overthinking things. But anyway, so that's it for this episode of MFG. I know I told you it's a light-hearted episode because there's not much racing going on. Aside from the last throwback, which is a throwback of Takumi with Ikitani and Yuichi with Bunta. So yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't. If you have any remarks, anything at all that you'd like to say about this episode, do post in the comments. I'm reading them every single day. So yeah, and this is Myogi saying, see you guys in next week for the qualifying round 2 of Ashinoko GT on MF Ghost.